If you were absent in class, I need you to write down the definition for ellipse from your book. You can draw the diagram that I have here. And then also from your book, you need to draw and label the entire graph for the horizontal ellipse and the vertical ellipse. Once you have that, you'll understand exactly what's going on in the video from this point on. So here's our first problem. We're going to graph this. We're going to identify the vertices, the co-vertices, and the foci. But in order for this to work, we have to have the equation in standard form. And if you notice from the equations that you wrote down from the book, every single equation has to equal 1. And this equals 100, so it's not in standard form. The only way to make this 100 equal to 1 is by dividing by 100. And when you divide by 100 on one side, you have to do it to everything on the other side. So now we have equals 1. And then we take the 4 divided by 100, and we're going to get a reduced fraction, which is 1 over 25. So x squared over 25. And when we do 25 divided by 100, we're going to reduce that to 1 over 4, or y squared over 4. Now, according to this equation that we have, the bigger number, which is our a, is the first thing you see. It is not the second. So this means that this graph is going to be horizontal. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the square root of 25, because remember, these are a squared and b squared. We don't want the squared part of it. We want just regular a. So here's our a. Here's our b. That's going to help us get the vertices and the co-vertices. But we also need a foci. So the foci is going to be c. And if we follow this equation here, we will be able to figure out what c is. So we know what a squared is. It's 25. And b squared is 4. So when we minus the 2, we get 21. That's what c squared is. But we need what c is. So we need to take the square root. And this ends up coming out to about 4.6. So now we have the c. So we're going to write out the vertice. And this is where the labeling really comes into play. Because since we're doing the horizontal graph, you're going to go to the graph with the horizontal points. And you're going to notice that this x and y point here starts with the a, not 0. So we're going to have a, comma 0, the opposite, which is the negative a, comma 0. And our a is 5, so we'll fill in 5 and negative 5. Now the co-vertices are the opposite, meaning they're going to start with 0 and then have your b, which is 2. So 2 and negative 2. And then we have the foci, which is going to be the same as the vertices. So we're going to have c, which is 4.6, comma 0, and negative 4.6, comma 0. Okay, so I want to see this wrote on your paper, and then you can just sketch the graph so that you don't have to label everything on there. So remember, this is horizontal, so the bigger number's going this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then to negative 5. The co-vertices is at 2 and negative 2. I'm going to sketch it. And then I'm going to put the foci in, which is at 4.6, so roughly right there. And then you're done. Here's another equation. If you can tell, it's equal to 1, so it is in standard form. But this time we have the a squared being the bigger number still, right in the middle. So this one's going to be a vertical graph instead. And we're going to go through the same steps to find out our a and our b and our c. So we have 7 equaling a, we have 3 equaling b, and then we have 49 minus 9 equals 40, that's c squared. So we take the square root of 40, and that equals 6.3. So here's our C. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to write out the vertice points. Now, because this is vertical, it no longer has the A first. It has a 0 first, and then the A. The co-vertices are the opposite. It'll have the number and then 0. And co-vertices are the B, so we have 3 and -3. And the foci is the same as the vertices, so 0, 6.3, and 0, -6.3. And we're ready to graph. Now, because this is vertical, we're going to take the bigger number and go this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Sketch it in. Put the foci, which was 6.3.